Well, I think it's time. I mean, there's three old FX horses. We all come out of FX originally. We kind of, all gone our separate ways at this point. It's time to talk about, the mother market because it's really, really fascinating. There's just, first of all, dollar yen 131 is insane. I don't know. I don't know what Kuroda is doing. He's probably having a heart attack every other day. Just from a macro point of view, let's just kind of think through what's going on in Japan. There's two things that are interesting. Japan is the largest buyer of U.S. treasuries. It's not China, it's Japan. They actually recycle all of their, current account surplus into U.S. treasuries because it's the only yield they can have. And they do something what's called the currency basis trade, where they hedge out the currency risk to try to get the U.S. yield. It's like, 2 months ago, they could buy at 110. Now they're like 131. They've had a 20% cost of increase to buy U.S. treasuries. It means one of the very, very strong buyers of U.S. treasuries has been really hampered, right? Plus, Japan is perennially a buyer of oil. It just can't, and it's still an industrial economy. Japan is still very much an industrial producer, not really a high-tech producer the way, we are. We manufacture Twitter and Insta and pretty pictures, and everybody else in the world really makes, things that work. So it's a big tax on them. It's kind of, I'm just from a policy point of view, what do you think is going to happen there? Just from a policy point of view, they talk about putting a corner. They are really.
I think the BOJ was pretty clear last night, Boris, that they have to either give up for their bond markets, or they have to give up their currency, and they are pretty clear that they are going to let the currency run lower, and at least for now. And the problem is, as you pointed out, that the inflationary pressures that they're going to continue to face with a weakening currency is only going to weigh heavily on their economy. I mean, they import everything. They do. So
the cost of inputs is enormous for them.
Yeah, and it's going to get big. It's going to get bigger as the yen moves lower. And I'd actually love to show you guys a chart of the yen, because we've actually had, and this is I have one of my colleagues. He traded on a yen desk for like the last 5 years of his career, of his 40-year FX trading career, and he's been very bearish yen. He was up. He's in the UK. And he's looking for 150. And technically speaking, this is I'm showing you 20 some odd years, 30 years of yen consolidation, and you're seeing the breakdown in yen, the rally in the dollar yen. It's not Bretton Woods levels that we're going to be going to, but trading up towards 150. Technically, I don't think it is it is an impossibility. Now, I know a lot of you may look at the move in yen and say there's no way that's going to happen, but it's taking place as we speak. And following the BOJ, if we do not hear any comments from the Ministry of Finance, then this weakness is just going to continue, and that trade is going to rally on. And I want to mention one last thing. Talking to some of the producers here in the show, crypto people are now starting to talk about the yen. And you know what that means? Crypto traders, and excuse me if any of you listening in are newer crypto traders, but a lot of that community are new traders. They're traders that have not been in the markets for years. And the one, for retail traders, the number one characteristic of them is going to be fading trends, because that's just what traders like to do. They think everything reverts back to the mean. And so what happens is you get a bunch of new traders that are in crypto talking about yen, and they want to start buying yen because they want to sell dollar yen because they think it's too high and it can't go any higher, and divergent relative strength, and beyond some oscillators, and pushing Bollinger Bands, outside Bollinger Bands, so it should come down. And those are the ones that end up getting run over. So I think there's a lot working against the yen right now, and I personally can't find a reason to buy yen. Like, give me a macro reason. Tell me, Boris, should I be buying yen right now? Or Scott, please, somebody tell me.
The only reason, in my opinion, is just mean reversion. I mean, I'm short yen for 100 points just to see if it comes into the 130. That literally, there is zero fundamental reason for me to be long, a long yen at this point. But,
And Boris, I remember, this is back before you and I actually knew each other, and I saw you on Bloomberg or on CNBC back when Abe did the three-prong economic
right.
approach. Remember
Yes.
that? And
Right.
remember the dollar yen that kept running? And I
Right.
remember, you talking about it, and I was like, man, I don't know. I think we're going to continue to weaken. And it just continued to go and go and go. And
It did.
I vividly remember that because I remember what office I was sitting in, and I remember watching you going, I don't know if that's going to stop, and these
No.
moves, when they get going, one thing that we can take away from the FX market is it is a trending market. Central banks move like molasses. And when things trend, they trend for a while. So you have to be cognizant of that. And yeah, can we get 100 pip pullback? Yeah, but
yeah. No, it's true. No, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's a scalping position in my opinion. This isn't. I'm not making any positional trades. Can I ask you guys sort of a more technical question on yen? Generally dollar yen, one of the strengths of dollar yen trade has been the carry, but I don't know if you guys are finding this. I mean, I was just shocked. I was looking at carry rolls across all brokers, and it's really bad still. We're nobody's really paying you to be long dollar yen. Are you surprised?
That is surprising. And Scott, I'll let you address that because I know you like carry trades. But back at last year, I said the trade of 2022 is going to be carry trades, sell yen, buy everything. But you're right. You're not getting paid for it, and I don't know why. I mean, Scott, maybe you have a better answer.
No, I don't know either. It's very, very good. I don't know. It seems like for me, my trades last a couple days or maybe a week or two. So, I found that it's not going great as far as, the carryover in my account every day. What I'm seeing in my account, like, that's not part of the equation. Like, it's just not part of what I've built in.
For a while, I saw negative carry on both sides, which was just ridiculous. I'm like, it's kind of punitive. But, I think it's probably in the money markets because obviously the broker is just reflecting what's going on in the interbank market where, nobody's really willing to pay you anything at this point.
Well, you said it earlier, right, Boris? You wait till real rates start going higher, and then that's when they're going to pay you for that, and it's pricey, right? It's kind of like buying options, like long dated options. It's like, everybody's like, if it continues to go higher, then they're going to start paying you yield to try to attract you to it. But right now, the move is up. And it's short yen, and they're not willing to pay you for it right now.
You have certainly not needed carry to make money in dollar yen, so it's been. Scott, maybe you can pull up the charts if you like. I'm just curious, since you're such a trend follower, maybe you can give us a read on what you're seeing in the yen and where you think, it may go, or how are you trading it? You seem to be trading a little bit more of a tactical methodology. Are you just buying breakouts? Are you buying pullbacks within this trend? What's your approach to yen at this point?
Well, I'll show you just the Japanese yen commodity, and it's pretty one-way traffic, right? There's only one story.
So that viewers who are watching this at home are not confused. This is the dollar yen futures, which is inverse. This is inverse. Okay.
Right.
So, the dollar is trading. The yen is going down against the dollar, and that's why it's moving lower. So just so you know, so you're not looking going, how does this make sense?
It is. Exactly. It is backwards.
Inverse of the FX spot because the futures are always denominated in dollars, and yen is inverted. So go ahead.
Thank you.
Give us a shot.
Thank you, Boris. Excellent point.
Yeah.
You can see this was my trading in 2022. This stuff doesn't do me any good. I did not enjoy the first 3 months. This I like very much. And lately, this one-way traffic has been very, very good. Going over to the pound yen. Let's see if I can get back to pound yen.
Now, is this the same kind of the 240 bar 50 period breakdowns? Is that what you're doing?
No, that was daily. Yeah, that was daily. I either do the daily or the 240. Yeah, but that was daily.
The same concepts. It's same concepts. You're hitting the breakdowns. You're just letting price action take you into trades.
Right. And same thing here. This is a 4-hour chart of the pound yen. Can you see that, Boris?
It'll come up in just 1 second. Let's
Okay.
just give it a shot.
And Scott, while you're pulling up those charts, can I ask you, do you ever look at like positioning, like CFTC positioning or sentiment index or anything like that? Do you take that into account at all?
I don't. I'm 100% mathematical. I mean, I do as a human being, and I love studying that stuff. And many times I'm in a trade, and every bit of fundamental thought in my head is like, "Man, I wish I wasn't in this trade." But it's all math based for me.
I got to tell you, I'm kind of like with Scott. Like the longer I trade, I think all sentiment is reflected in price. Like if you want to know sentiment, look at price. And I trade very mathematically, just like you. Obviously different approaches. Different. I'm much more of a mean reversion trader, so on and so forth. But like I have lots of views, but my cues are always mathematical, and I find that to be a much more pure way of looking at the market. It's interesting. I agree that.
But as a trend follower, I would think that if you have some of those other indicators in your behind your back, so you're following
Yes.
not a headwind but a tailwind, I would think that would be a benefit.
Definitely. The only thing for me is that I can't test it. That's really, I mean, it's hard.
I'll
to
tell you where it's not a benefit. I'll tell you what,
Right.
like if price is your only variable, you have a very pure approach to the market. It's super clean intellectually and emotionally. You're not confused by like the million, countervailing macro forces that are coming in. And that actually helps me, at least from my perspective, helped me really clarify my trading a lot more. Like I've become a much better trader since I stopped paying attention to fundamentals, even though obviously I'm very fundamentally aware, but my own trading has just been purely price driven and it's been a much cleaner trade that way.
For me, it just fits. That's just kind of my personality. But I love all the fundamental, and I think Blake's right. There are probably trades that I could have not taken if I had looked at something else. But just to keep everything consistent, I don't. However, if I'm looking at the pound yen, which is my favorite one to trade of all the yens, this is a bunch of divergence lines, just an indicator, and this is bearish sentiment, right? If it's more indicators go oversold, this is Rob Booker's indicator. You can see that I was going long all the way, but then all of these started screaming short, and then we got another bearish indicator, and you can see we had a fall. For me, I'm right in the middle here. I can see an explosion, and what Blake said made me feel like that's probably where it's going to go. But I can also see this too. This is just I probably will see some sideways, and we're going to see another big move like we've been seeing. But right now, this looks like it doesn't know quite what to do to me.
What about, can we look at some of the other yen cross? Because pound yen has a very idiosyncratic story because the pound weakness has just been extraordinary. Also, actually, euro weakness. And we have a little bit of time. I'd love to just get your reads on euro itself because that has a very, very, 105. It hasn't been 105 since I didn't have gray hair. It's amazing.
Look at that, right? I would definitely be. I trade breakouts, so I don't see a breakout long just yet. It's got to go sideways for me to actually take a trade in real life. But boy, I would want with all of my heart to get in here, maybe put a stop below this low and see if I could get it to rise up to 1.1064 or any of those.
I tell you, this would have been murder for my mean reversion trade. This is literally the nightmare of anybody who likes to buy bottom, sell tops, because literally every tiny candle that is a reversal candle is just gets swamped. Continuing.
Yep.
This is a very, very straight.
The price action is so bearish, guys, and I see people just consistently trying to pick the bottom here, but technically, if you look at the euro, it's from the creation of the euro. We broke that trend line when it was at 108, I think. So as long as we stay below 108, it's going to be a tough trade to buy.
Well, but the only thing I will say, sometimes it goes this way, but everybody and their mother is talking parity, and because everybody and their mother is talking parity, I'm not looking for a rally, but I'm looking for a bounce. I think this 105, 104. We're probably going to squeeze out to 106, 107, just because everybody's convinced parity, and we got to squeeze out the late shorts. But I think parity is It's really, but it's going to be interesting. You think the Germans are going to be happy about parity, or they're going to be mad about parity? At this point, that's it's a push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is. I would think that everybody with this, everybody that wants to fight inflation, that in Europe you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? You fight inflation on one hand.
Yeah.
You want a stronger currency to tackle that. It would definitely help. At the same time, you look at the calendar year and you go, damn it, we're heading into the summer months, and how a weaker currency is going to help. Whether you're talking Italy, France,
you're right.
It's like
that's actually
it's
actually a really good point,
right?
Right, that's actually a really good point, especially Greece. I mean, you know who's happiest of all of this is Greece, because literally 25% of their GDP is tourism, and they've been just destroyed because of COVID and everything else. Maybe hey, it's time to buy Greek stocks, guys, on the lower euro long tourism trade. That's a theme that we can look at.
What's amazing? You both, Scott, you may not know this, but Boris, you do. My two partners or founders of Forex Analytics are both in Athens, and
Right.
one of them just bought tickets to come to the United States to visit and stay. Their family's going to stay with our family in the fall. The cost from Americans buying the same ticket to go back and forth to Greece, and it's 40% higher for Americans to buy.
It was a sticker shock for him. It was a sticker shock.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Just bought those today. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. On the other hand, we should all go to Athens, and go to the birthplace of Western civilization.
Let's all see the Aegean Sea. It's the most beautiful.
Or we just go to Santorini and just drink Greek liqueur and enjoy it.
Yes, sir. We will drink ouzo till the sun comes up.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.